So I'm Cheryl Hauser, and I'm the producer and co-director of Generation Startup. The people in our movie are 22 to 24 years old. They're very young, and they're just coming out of university. And that's a time in people's lives when they're figuring out who they are and what their values are. And it's a time of big personal growth. And then here were people who were then moving so far outside of what was comfortable for them. So I knew that they would learn and grow a lot. Whether their companies failed or succeeded, that they would change a lot from the experience. And that makes a good film when you have a character who faces challenges and has a big goal and grows through trying to reach that goal. So there are two kinds of entrepreneurs. There are entrepreneurs who start something in order to eat because they have no other choice, they have no other opportunities. And then immigrants in the United States start businesses at a much higher rate than Americans. They have nothing to lose. I think sometimes when people are very poor, they start a business because they don't have other opportunities. But then you have the other end of the spectrum where especially those are small businesses. If you want to start a startup that is going to scale, that's going to grow quickly, you usually need capital or investment. And so it often takes somebody who already has some experience or access to capital to start a company like that. The right time is when you have all your basic needs taken care of, so you know that you can pay your rent and eat, and you have a really good idea. It really helps to have mentors. Most of the successful startup founders were mentored by people who have been successful. So it's very important to find people who will guide you and help you, because you're going to make mistakes, but at least if you have a mentor who has experience, they help you make fewer mistakes. Finding a good idea is really hard. It's often those ideas come from people's personal experiences of a need that they realize isn't being met. There's a very successful startup in the United States, which is a suitcase company called Away, started by two young women. And one of them was traveling and her suitcase exploded and everything in it went everywhere. She went on social media and she asked all her friends, "What do you know of a good suitcase? Because I don't want this to happen again." And everyone said, "No, I hate my suitcase." So she realized there was a need for a really durable, sturdy suitcase. And she teamed up with a friend, and that company, they've grown so fast. The most important thing to succeed as an entrepreneur is grit and determination, resilience, the ability to not give up. And I think it takes a lot of confidence. Even when you are crying inside and you feel like you can't go on, it's the people who say, "I am going to do this. I don't care how hard it is, I am going to do this," who end up succeeding. If you don't give up, then you learn along the way. Many startup founders, they start with one idea, and when it's not working out, they pivot. they come up with a different idea. They learn from their failure and they learn from their mistakes and they don't give up. Because starting anything is really hard and you are going to fail. There will be little mini failures on the way to success. It's not always possible to just keep going. I mean, there are realities of if you run out of money and you need to eat and pay rent. So I don't want to make it sound as simple as just keep going, but I know a lot of startup founders, they keep working at a job to pay the rent, but then they do their startups at nights and weekends, and they do whatever they need to do in order to get going. I've been talking to angel investors and venture capitalists here, and they say that it is, the startup scene is young, but it is growing quickly. So I think it's a wonderful time because anytime you have an economy that's growing at the early stage, it means there's a lot of opportunity.